If you spend enough time around gun counters, range benches, or comment sections, you will hear the same tired argument repeated over and over again. If your rifle does not cost as much as a used truck, it cannot possibly shoot straight. Precision, we are told, you pounds in Meitzer's truck, it cannot possibly shoot straight. Precision, we are told, has a price of entry, and that price usually comes with carbon fiber stocks, space-age chassis systems, and, microbubble second, space-age chassis systems, and optics that cost more than most people's first car. The industry has done a very good job convincing shooters that accuracy lives behind a four-figure price tag. This project exists to challenge that belief head-on. What you are about to hear is not theory, marketing copy, or brand loyalty talking. This is a practical review project focused on 5 rifles that consistently deliver accuracy far beyond what their price suggests. These are not safe. These are not safe queens or influencer showpieces. These are working rifles, built with smart engineering, cost-effective manufacturing, and a ruthless focus on the fundamentals that actually matter downrange: barrels, lockup, triggers, and consistency, not hype. Throughout this series, I will break down each rifle with a balanced lens. You will hear objective performance factors, real-world strengths and weaknesses, and my own subjective judgment based on handling, reliability, and long-term value. I will also talk openly about price, because budget matters, and because accuracy should not be reserved for shooters with unlimited wallets. If you appreciate honest evaluation, practical ballistics, and rifles that punch above their weight class, you are in the right place. This is Scoper 90 Degrees, and this project is about proving that precision is earned through smart design and skilled shooting, not just money spent. We start this project with a rifle that fundamentally changed what people expect from an entry-level bolt action. The Savage Axis II Savage Arms has never chased elegance or prestige. Their reputation has always been built on one thing: making rifles shoot straight for as little money as possible. The Axis II is the purest expression of that philosophy, and it earns its place in this review for one simple reason: it delivers real, repeatable accuracy where it matters. From an objective standpoint, the core of the Axis II's performance comes from its barrel nut system. Instead of relying on expensive hand fitting, Savage uses this system to set headspace precisely and consistently across mass production. It is not attractive, and it was never meant to be, but it works. That consistency translates directly to tighter groups. Add to that the Accu trigger, a user-adjustable system with a center blade safety that allows a light, crisp break straight out of the box, and you have a rifle that requires no immediate upgrades to shoot well. Subjectively, the Axis II feels honest. The stock is light and flexible, and there is no pretending otherwise. The bolt lift can feel a little stiff compared to higher-end actions, especially when new, but once you settle in behind the rifle and start pressing the trigger, those shortcomings fade quickly. This is a rifle that reminds you results matter more than feel. It does not flatter the shooter, but it rewards good fundamentals. In terms of price, the Savage Axis II remains one of the strongest values on the market. While the official price often sits around $450, real-world street pricing commonly falls between $350 and $400. At that level, it is difficult to find another bolt action that offers the same combination of accuracy, trigger quality, and caliber availability. Following the Savage, we move to a rifle that approaches the budget accuracy problem from a very different angle: the Ruger American Rifle. From a very different angle, the Ruger American Rifle. Where Savage focused on simplifying manufacturing, Ruger focused on durability and structural consistency. Sturm, Ruger & Company has always built firearms with the mindset that they should survive hard use first and look pretty second, and the American Rifle fits that DNA perfectly. Objectively, the defining feature of the Ruger American is its power bedding system. Instead of traditional glass bedding, Ruger molds integral bedding blocks directly into the stock. These blocks lock directly into the stocks. These blocks lock the receiver in place while allowing the barrel to free float cleanly in that stable interface between That stable interface between action and stock is a major contributor to consistency, and consistency is the foundation of accuracy. Pair that system with a cold hammer forged barrel and the Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, and you have a rifle that performs well above what its price category suggests. The 3-lug bolt design is another practical advantage. The short 70-degree bolt throw keeps your hand clear of mounted optics and allows for faster cycling, especially from field positions. From a purely mechanical perspective, this is a well-thought-out action designed to work reliably in adverse conditions. Subjectively, the Ruger American feels tougher than most rifles in its class. The stock, while still basic, is more rigid than the Savage and inspires confidence when shooting off improvised supports. The bolt can feel rough when new and often produces a zipper-like sound until broken in, but functionally it never feels fragile. This is a rifle that seems comfortable being dragged through brush, rained on, and still expected to hold zero. Pricing places the Ruger American slightly above the Axis II, while the manufacturer's suggested price hovers near $579. Most examples on store shelves fall between $450 and $500. At that range, you are paying for durability and long-term reliability rather than refinement. At this point in the project, we move from purely budget-focused rifles into a platform that quietly anchors much of the mid-range precision market, the Howa 1500, also known in many configurations as the Weatherby Vanguard. This is where the conversation begins to shift from cost-cutting innovation to outright manufacturing quality. Objectively, the Howa 1500 is built on a forged steel action that is far more substantial than what is typically found in this price bracket. Manufactured in Japan by Howa Machinery, this action features a flat-bottom receiver, a massive integral recoil lug, and a one-piece forged bolt with an M16-style extractor. This is not a minimalist design. It is overbuilt by modern standards, and that strength translates directly to consistent lockup and long-term durability. Both the Howa-branded rifles and the Weatherby Vanguard versions come with a sub-MOA accuracy guarantee, something rarely offered at this level. The barrel is cold hammer forged, and the metalwork overall is excellent. Tolerances are tight, surfaces are clean, and nothing about the rifle feels rushed or cheap. From a purely mechanical standpoint, this is closer to a semi-custom action than a budget one. Subjectively, the Howa 1500 feels serious. There is noticeable weight compared to the earlier rifles in this list, and that weight soaks up recoil and steadies the rifle on target. The downside is obvious. It is not a lightweight mountain rifle, and it is not particularly graceful in the hands. The factory Hogue and basic synthetic stocks are functional but uninspiring, and they represent the weakest link in an otherwise outstanding system. In terms of pricing, the Howa 1500 and Weatherby Vanguard offer flexibility. Barreled actions can often be found around $400 for shooters who want to build their own rifle. Complete rifles generally fall between $600 and $700 depending on configuration. Considering the quality of the action and barrel, that price represents significant value. As we move deeper into this review, we reach the point where the line between budget and premium begins to blur. And no rifle illustrates that better than the Tikka T3x Lite. This is where efficiency, refinement, and accuracy converge in a way that forces an uncomfortable question. How much performance do you really gain by spending more than this? Objectively, the Tikka T3x Lite benefits from the same manufacturing standards used for higher-end Sako rifles. Built in Finland, these rifles are produced in the same facilities, using the same cold hammer forged barrels that have earned a reputation for exceptional consistency. The action itself is barrels that have earned a reputation for exceptional consistency. The action itself is the standout feature. The bolt travel is exceptionally smooth, with minimal resistance and precise engagement, making it one of the easiest rifles to run quickly and cleanly under a scope. The trigger is a crisp, single-stage unit that breaks cleanly, with very little take-up, and the factory synthetic stock is noticeably more rigid than most competitors in this price range. Unlike earlier rifles in this list, the stock does not feel like a compromise. It supports the action properly and maintains consistent barrel clearance even under load. Subjectively, the 3X Lite feels refined in a way that immediately stands out. Cycling the bolt feels effortless, and the balance of the rifle makes it comfortable in both field and range environments. It delivers the kind of confidence that usually accompanies rifles costing significantly more. The downside is subtle but real. The magazines are polymer and surprisingly expensive to replace, and the rifle sits at the upper edge of what can reasonably be called affordable. Pricing reflects that position. Manufacturer pricing typically sits around $850, with real-world availability commonly between $750 and $800. While it costs more than the other rifles discussed so far, it also delivers performance that approaches custom-level territory. The final rifle in this project may surprise some people, but it perfectly captures the core message behind this entire review, the CZ457. Yes, this is a rimfire rifle chambered in .22 long rifle, but dismissing it for that reason misses the point entirely. The CZ400 Siemen misses the point entirely. The CZ457 is not a toy. It is a precision training platform built to the same standards as centerfire rifles that cost several times more. Objectively, the CZ457 is an evolution of the highly respected 452 and 455 series, and it improves on those designs in meaningful ways. It features a push-to-fire safety, a fully adjustable trigger, and a modular barrel system that allows caliber and barrel changes with minimal effort. The machining quality, barrel lapping, and overall fit and finish are exceptional for this price category. Accuracy is outstanding, with many examples capable of producing one-hole groups at 50 yards using quality ammunition. What truly sets the CZ457 apart is how closely it mimics the handling and feel of a full-size precision rifle. This allows shooters to train fundamentals such as trigger control, wind reading, and positional shooting at a fraction of the cost per round. In a practical sense, this rifle can improve a shooter's skills more effectively than many expensive centerfire setups. Subjectively, the CZ457 feels deliberate and refined. The bolt travel is smooth, the trigger is predictable, and the rifle rewards disciplined shooting. The woodstock variants in particular offer a level of craftsmanship rarely seen at this price. The primary drawbacks are minor. Magazine capacity is limited, typically 5 rounds, and higher-end trim levels can climb quickly in price. In terms of cost, base models such as the American or Lux generally start around $550 MSRP, with street prices often dropping below $500. For the performance and training value offered, that pricing is difficult to argue against. The CZ457 earns its place as the final rifle because it reinforces the central truth of this project. Precision is not exclusive to high-powered cartridges or expensive gear. It is built through consistency, repetition, and intelligent equipment choices.